Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's not too late to wish you a Happy New Year 2023, right? I know it's Feb, but better late than never. Anyway, 2023 and this decade will see a huge influx, a huge development of electric cars, whereby cars are no longer powered by internal combustion engines. Instead, just like your phone and this camera which is recording me right now, powered by a battery. And it promises a lot of miles and a huge range that you can cover. So, you know, in previous years, the thought of imagining electric cars will conjure up images of boring and uninspiring looking cars. But in recent years, we have seen very, very nice ones from Tesla, from Rivian, from Lucid, and of course, from Kia and a few other automakers. Not to forget, one of the earliest concepts from Audi, called the Audi e-tron concept, which was unveiled, if I'm not mistaken, in 2012. That was like 10, 11 years ago. And now it is being made into a reality by the Audi e-tron series. And today, we are in Audi Centre, Glen Mary, Shah Alam, looking at the all-new Audi RS e-tron GT. So later, the car is right in front of me over here, or rather to my side. We'll be taking a walk around the car, and let's see, for the first time, the car that you might have seen in Avengers Endgame, Tony Stark's car, right in front of your eyes. Let's go. So today is going to be a bit weird because we'll be starting from the back of the car. Usually you start from the front kan, but whatever, it's a nice car. All angles are very nice. So the Audi e-tron GT is powered by a 93 kilowatts per hour battery that promises hundreds and hundreds of miles. If I'm not mistaken, it's around 400 to 600 plus. So this means you can get from Johor Bahru right up to Arau on a single charge, theoretically. This car has not been launched formally in Malaysia. That's why Audi is having its preview event right now. And the selling price when it's eventually launched would range from 749,000 to 769,000, if I'm not mistaken. We'll take a look at the brochure. So first and foremost, not too much talking, let's look around the car. We'll start from the back. Audis nowadays have this very beautiful light bar going across the entire rear of it. You have seen it in the Audi RS7 or the Audi A7 in general, and a few other models. And what we are looking at today is the RS e-tron GT, which is the top of the range electric Grand Tourer from Audi. Let's start with the boot. This has a 366-litre boot. It has a 12-volt socket, some storage areas over here. Hooks for your grocery bags. And yeah, 366 liters. And the lip isn't too high, as you have seen with the Audi RS3, which I reviewed last year. So it's easy for you to get things in and out. Of course, it's auto. Okay, one of the staff told me that this shade of green is called tactical green. So don't be fooled, you might have seen this in pictures, in articles. It looks a bit brown, but yeah, that's what I saw too. But looking at this in the metal, it is absolutely a very nice shade of green. Moving on to the side, the tires, the wheels are sized 21 inches. Woo! Kena masuk ni untuk tukar-tukar. So all four are 21 inches. Let's look at the size. This is a 305/30 R21. Very, very low profile tires. Very nice dual tone wheels. And peeking from behind the wheels, Audi carbide discs. So once we go to the front, you will see that these carbide discs are very mirror-like in nature. You can see your own face. Boleh sikat rambut. Moving on to the back, as you can see, the door is very, very thick. Just look at that. Just look at that. Satu jengkal setengah. And the door trim is finished in a very nice Alcantara leather and a very nice brown, dark brown leather I'll go in from the other side. This is obviously a 4-seater car. Well, person number 5 would have to be a cat if it wants to be comfortable in the middle. The all-important rear aircon vents. And touching this, it is a sort of a rubberized plastic. So it is plastic inside, but it has a rubber texture above. Same goes to the seat backs. It is hard plastic, but then it has this nice layer of rubber right on it. Okay, let's go to the seats. There is an airbag over here. And if you can see, the seats are very, very supple. Very, very supple. Panoramic sunroof, as you can see up here, starting from end to end. Beautiful. Cup holders, of course, over here. And this center part also opens to allow you to put your skis, but in Malaysia we don't have skis, kan? So maybe lemang buluh. Moving on to the driver's seat where the party is. Leather wrapped steering wheel, and this is the new breed of Audi steering wheels, the new generation, very angular. So is the dash. It has these geometric shapes all over, and especially this part, we'll come to it later, where the aircon vent protrudes out quite an angle, a sharp one. You might want to be a bit careful. Okay, moving on to the screen in front of you. It's a multi-information screen. So I'm quite new to this car, so I'm sure it shows a lot more when we turn this on. I don't think we can turn this on lah. Okay, these pedal shifters, you might ask. This car has a 2-speed automatic transmission. So what are these for? From gear 1 to second gear and second gear to first gear? Nope. These pedals are actually for the regenerative braking feature, where you can sort of select how intense you want this feature to be, how regenerative is the braking. You can select from here. All right, moving on to the center console. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what I would call a nice one, because there is no lonely, lonesome iPad standing right in front of you blocking your eyes. The screen is very nicely integrated into the dash, surrounded by piano black inserts and a carbon fiber bit. I'm not usually a fan of carbon fiber, especially exposed weaves like this, but this car pulls it off flawlessly. I like it. I'm a new fan. Moving down, wow! For such a technologically advanced car, you have buttons. Gosh, I love this. They have not put all of these controls into a screen, which will be very fiddly and be covered with fingerprint smudges all over. So these are nice. Very nice buttons and tactile feeling as you're driving your futuristic car. I love it. More buttons over here. So usually on Audis, there will be an RS button. And especially this model, being an RS, should and would have this button. But in this RS e-tron GT, it is instead, the RS button function is instead been taken over by this drive select button. So this is where you cycle through your drive modes. Front parking sensors, as usual, front parking camera. This is to turn the screen on and off, traction control, and start-stop button over here. Now, if you remember the RS3 I reviewed last year, it had a very teeny-weeny wedge for gear shifting. Well, this one doesn't have anything at all. Well, it has this movable, I don't know what to call it, but I guess this is the future of motoring, whereby you just select whatever that you want from this column, I would say. Cup holders, mandatory, very good. And of course, storage areas. And I must mention about the seats. It's very, very supportive. Bolstering is on point, and just like the back seats, the fronts are supple and comes with the RS logo, matte finished. Very nice. Of course, seats are electrically powered. And if you can look at the door trim, it is also covered in Alcantara leather. Nice brown one. And it has this floating door handle. Very nice. Look at the one over there. It's floating. Beautiful. Okay. And finally, we come to the front of the car, and guys, the front of the car was the only and is still the reason I love the Audi e-tron line, because when I first saw, you know, the grills on modern cars all look very sort of oversized and overestimated, but on the Audi, it is done very well. It is being hidden very nicely, as it is also body colored. I don't know, it works. It works. It works for me. The proportions of the grille, the proportions of the headlamp all scream nicely designed to me. So let's go to the front. Well, we have a lot of piano black inserts and trims over here, and there are some hexagonal textures over here. If you can catch it on camera, you would have to look at it from an angle to be able to see it. So these are some textures over here, as opposed to the smooth and flat parts above. So, of course, LED headlamps, and you might wonder what is under the hood, since it's an electric car. And thanks to the staff just now, I was actually looking for the button to open it. I couldn't find it. Dia macam teka-teki. Tahu, bila kita tengah fikir tentang jawapan, memang tak dapat. Tapi sekali ditunjuk, terus boleh ingat. Come, let me show you. So I was looking all over the car, all over this beautiful piece of door trim and this consoles and the seats, and I couldn't find it. Rupanya butang ni kat sini. Now you know how to open the front trunk. So tekan. As you can see, since it's a frameless door, when you close it, it goes up. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the 5-liter V8 turbo of the Audi RS e-tron GT. Pam 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 pam. Well, since it's an electric car, you don't really need to put anything inside here, right? Other than your charging cable. This is one huge and very thick charging cable. Looks like a lasso, and you can clobber someone with this palm and all that. And under this front trunk, or the frunk as we call it, there's not much to see. You know, pieces of plastic cladding, your wiper, your windshield wiper fluid, and that's your brake fluid, and that's about it. That's about it. You know, no messing about in this engine bay, so to speak, other than to put some of your items. And if I am not mistaken, this has a capacity of 81 liters. So yeah, what are you going to use 81 liters for? You figure out yourself. So what do you think of the Audi RS e-tron GT? Something that you want? Or would you like to see other competitors first? Or have you fallen in love with the design, which is marvelous? Whatever it is, we'll see the launch and how much it's going to be priced. The launch is expected in May, so we'll be seeing more updates, hopefully, when it's actually launched. So thank you to Audi Centre Glenmary. As you can see, there is huge interest in the RS e-tron GT, and of course other models as well they have on display. The QA, the A3 Sedan, the A5 Sportback, the Q2 and also the Q5. I even saw an RS Q8 outside. Tak tahu siapa punya, tapi cun. So whatever it is, hopefully we'll see you back in May when this car is actually launched. Thank you very much.